live, and we are back again for another one of my morning sketches, sculpts, that sort of thing. Concepting in the morning is a good way to kind of stretch the art skills before my day kicks in. And let's back that music down a little bit. Just so you folks know, if in fact I disappear from here at some point, is because wow, it is raining like mad outside. I don't know if you might be able to pick it up through the microphone. Yeah, looking out the studio window across from me, it's impressive rain. Impressive. I love that stuff. Where I'm at, here in eastern Kentucky, I'm on the edge of the Daniel Boone National Forest. So sometimes when it does this, I like to step out onto my porch and just like go sit on the porch with a sketchbook and draw till the rain starts blowing blowing on me too much. But it's really cool. I love being out in nature like that, and so it's nice. As you can see, the morning coffee is fresh and hot, and we're gonna jump into this thing today. Let's see now. Quick check before we get on with it. Let's see. We have Sean with us. Overboard is here. Gina is here. Oh, she says she'll be right back. She has to take Finn out. He just got sick. Finn is her dog. I forgot what kind of dog he is, other than just tiny and cute and looks like an Ewok. Yeah, little Mr. Finnegan. Finny is hilarious. Overboard says we get downpours in the Mobile area of Alabama. Yes, I said Mobile because I am a Southern man. I understand. My first instinct, that was like mobile. That was like Alabama. It's Mobile. So there you go, Mobile, Alabama. I've been down there. I've been through many parts of Alabama. Stayed in Tuscaloosa for a little bit, helping out with some stuff after some tornadoes a few years ago. Yeah, pretty cool. I had some damn fine crawfish down in southern Alabama. All right. Well, that's enough with the chit chat. I've got Zbrush open and I know how to use it. So another shot of coffee, and we're going to jump into this thing. So this is continuing my series where I am attempting, rather stupidly, to do sort of a reimagining of essentially the D&D monster manual. I may veer off from it at times, and because there's other settings that have monsters that are pretty cool. There's ubiquitous things to fantasy that aren't necessarily in the D&D monster manual. So I'm not, as I do this, I want to be clear. I'm not recreating the D&D monster manual. I am taking it as an inspiration, so that by the time I'm done, I'll have something that's kind of sort of analogous to a lot of it, but with my own take on it. And I'm actually looking for, I have one friend who's probably going to be helping with this. I'm looking for maybe a couple of people, because it'd be kind of a big job, to actually craft new lore. And not even lore, just some little tidbits of ideas around some of the creatures and the differences that I do with them. You notice I'm giving them different names and things like that. And I'd love to get some folks together to work out like little descriptions and then work out stats for them. And maybe in the end we do something with this on like Drive-Thru RPG or something like that. And, since I'm creating all the stuff in 3D, it's like all the stuff will be available at some point as miniatures, and quite likely as renderable assets out of like Manga Studio and other 3D software. So, it's like what I'm embarking on here is generating a massive catalog of stuff. I'm probably going to be working on this for a year. It's probably going to be about a year-long project of busting these things out, every day, and doing that whole deal. So, without further ado, let's get into this morning's sculpt. So, where we're going today is we're into the seas, and there's a creature in there called a carrion crawler. I'm calling this a Carrioner, the Carrioner, and it's another one of these creatures in D&D that's basically a worm or slug sort of thing. So, I'm gonna just start riffing on this with a sphere. So I'm going to turn on the floor here so I can kind of keep my orientation set. And turn on my sculptress mode. And I don't know that I want to go doing something quite as long in, I don't know. There's something about what they have there that's cool. But I want to do something a little different. Like I said, something that's potentially analogous to what they have, but but just different, just a different kind of take on some stuff. So let's start off defining its head. I'm gonna make that sphere much smaller there, and I want to play around with the head shape a little bit, and let's just start doing some rough sculpting on here. I'm going to turn that floor off now that I've got a little something going on here. So I want to go with something here that's kind of like some kind of a centipede sort of thing. And it's funny, that was just a complete accident there when I hit mirror, but I do like this difference in head shape from it being so completely round to it actually having this kind of bulbousness to it. I like that. And I want to get kind of jowly with it, And I'm not gonna do too much detail stuff at this point. I just want to kind of get a general shape down, some basic landmarks roughed in. Some things that I remember when I was doodling up my thumbnail for the day. I thought, okay, these are kind of the landmark pieces that I want in here. So I'll just sort of start off with roughing that sort of thing in. Thinking about plates and shapes and things like that. Then I want to have some tendrils. So there needs to be a place for those. And I think it's going to be right here. So, and I'm going to take my snake hook and just draw out a few of these things just to get them started. And these will probably end up going away later, but right now they just make for a good visual cue. So then I definitely want to have some little mandibles coming out over here. So let's do that by just pulling something out kind of the same way, and then I'll use an inflate brush to increase that shape. And then from there we can just expand the volume on that. get something interesting going on there. So this is really just big landmarks right now. So and I'm going to turn off sculptors mode for a second so that I can do a little bit of, I call it hammering. I'm going to hammer some flat surfaces on this just to you know, create more of a mandibular effect. I don't know if that's a word, but it sounds like it should be a word. So now it's a word there, mandibular. That's your word for the day. And there we go with that. And I'm going to delete half of this for a moment so that I can then come in here and do that without having it affect all the way to the other side. Now I'll mirror and weld it. And we'll turn sculptures back on. I said I'm going to turn sculptures back on. Thank you very much. And we'll just brush over this a little bit. And then I'm thinking some little ticks like this would be sort of little sharp, ridgy sorts of things. Okay. And I'm not going to worry about shoving any teeth into that just yet because we're really not at a good point for that. You know, that's more for detailing later on. So I'm going to make a group here at the back of the head. Flatten that in a little bit. Then I'm going to use that to extrude just a touch so that we get some more volume added. Okay. Now I can use that to kind of sculpt out some more of what I want on this head shape, because I do want it to be a little less just bulbously round. I'm digging that. A couple of things I do want to add on here. Let's do. Want to get some little feelers coming off. So let's just mask right here. And then should be able to just take my snake hook and really work that. Let's do a little bit more volume. Okay, like that. And I'm going to refine the eyes just a little bit more before I move on to starting to build the body. kind of letting myself indulge in a little bit of detail work right there, even though it's a little early in the process for that. Still, the idea hits, might as well go ahead and explore it just a little bit. I find doing things like randomized rock, randomized brick, and this kind of plating to be really meditative. Very easy to just let myself slip into that and sit there making these patterns and drawing this stuff out for just hours on end. So if I don't stop myself right now, then that's all this video will end up being. Right. Digging that. I do think this stuff here needs to be thicker though. It's just going to need more volume added to it. When it comes to creatures like this, I know I tend to have a style that's really heavily influenced by my comic book, my love of comics. Heavily influenced on creatures by Bernie Wrightson. And I'm starting to realize, too, how much of an influence Mark Silvestri is on a lot of my stuff. For a long time, I think I wanted to kind of poo-poo on that. And I'm not sure why, because I always loved his X-Men work. But lately, I'm just looking at stuff. I'm like, man, there is a real Silvestri vibe to a lot of the stuff that I like to do. I think probably going back to what he did in the X-Men with a lot of the aliens and stuff that were in there. So let's go ahead and add another subtool. I think I'm just going to pull one off here from like this. And yeah, let's just mask some stuff. And then I'm going to do an extraction. And then close the holes on the extraction. And Dynamesh it. So now that fits pretty exactly into here. So I'm just going to smooth back that front part where it blends like that. And then we'll inflate it a little bit. And then this is going to be where I work from for the body. Okay. And I want to make this guy kind of a cross between a centipede and a slug. He needs just this big, like, poopy turd kind of body. That's a technical term, folks. I think a lot of this is going to go away, though, because I'm really leaning towards a certain kind of segmentation on it. Not sure. We'll see. A lot of directions we could go with this. Alright, so I want to grab a slice curve. And let's look at this in wireframe mode. And I'm just going to make some cuts. Going down this, like so. And then we're going to do a quick temporary topology because there's some tools I like to use that require a better topology than this. So let's go into Z-Remesher. Have to keep groups turned on. Let's see, symmetry's on. And I want to have same poly count. So there we go. Let's do another time or two just see if it works out. Yeah, there we go. Nice and clean. So that'll let it work out some of those little wonky bits. Now I'm going to reduce this. I want it kind of low res. Okay, there we go. And go down one more time. Go. I'm going to turn that off. So we can come in here and smooth this guy down. Now I want to come through and I'm going to grab every other group like so. And extrude polygroup all. Oops, grab that. Build all one polygroup. Do 3 extrusions there. Okay. Here, and here. Let's do that one too. We're going to extrude polygroup all. 2, 3. So now that's going to give us that segmenty sort of shape. And with that clean topology like that, it's going to make it very easy to make selections and masks, which then allows me to much more easily do this. So then I'm going to come through and soften this stuff up under the belly. Just gonna do a little shaping under here. I want to spread some of this stuff out that might be dragging on the ground. And then let's increase some of that vertical size right there. And do I want to slug that out a little bit? Yeah. I want to let that stuff smooth out so it gets a sort of bloated feel. Like he's segmented, but his bloating is causing to just poof past his segments. Just sounds disgusting. Okay. So I think that from here I'm going to keep this topology actually, and do some inserts for some little legs. And yeah, I think that will actually be super, super cool way to go about working this guy out. So I want to go through and designate these little contact points. Like that. Okay. I just want those to have their own groups. Maybe even not so much. Store morph target. There we go. I like having those pick up that roundedness there. So now, let's... Which way do we want to go here? Give him like a 3-segmented leg. So we'll do... Let's pop off from here to a Z-sphere. Okay. And I'm going to work from the front with symmetry on. Okay. 2, 3. Okay. Now let's go down to my adaptive skin preview. I'm going to make an adaptive skin. Let's switch over to that skin. Okay. Polish it. And let's see, I have symmetry on. So there we go. That just gives us that shape really fast. I like using Z-spheres like that. So then let's go into a pinch and use that to kind of corral the shape, get a nice little ridge going on the shape. Sometimes when you're designing creatures, it helps to step off from your main body and just like design a limb or an appendage separately. Okay, that works. That works. So let's grab, load up an H polish, turn off Sculptress. I'm gonna make one stroke. I'm gonna hit the 1 key on my number pad a bunch of times to repeat that stroke. It's a quick way to get these nice flattened out surfaces on something. Then let's come in here, and here, and here. Make those poly groups. And then I'm going to shrink those. And to do that, I'm holding the inflate You're holding the control key while I click and drag on the scale handle of the gizmo there. 3D manipulator. Okay. Now let's go back into sculptress mode here. Just use that to sort of hammer this out. And I do like the roughness sometimes that you get from sculptress. And something like this that's crawling around the ground a lot, maybe it's poking into rock or whatever. I feel like that adds a kind of crunchiness to it that's really nice to have. Really like doing creatures like this. Just fun shapes to work with. I don't want to go too far with this because I need to apologize this leg. I'm going to make an insert mesh brush from it, and I'm kind of skipping right on through to some of the topology and stuff that I need at the very end. But you know, when your concept is strong and you know where you're going, you can kind of do that, and I like doing that whenever I can. So let's come in now and chop off a nice little hole from right here. Delete hidden. And now I should have these nice groups here, which is fortuitous. So let's come in here, keep groups, and just start bringing this down by half at a time. Pardon me, my eyes are watering up real bad. The allergies. So I know I'm going to lose most of that shape as the topology comes down, but that's okay. I still have it kind of in my working memory. So let's see now. Let's take a look and see how many edges we have around this. 76 on there right now. Well, I want fewer than that. So let's see about how far down I can hammer this topo to get a much more manageable poly count. Trying to get somewhere with that. I know that I want to get this hole down pretty tight. And I'm probably going to end up having triangles on here, which I typically don't want, but I know that if I subdivide them, then they'll do that and become quads. So I think I'm going to allow for that this one time. I do that sometimes, but not often. So down to 24. That might be the number that I sit with on this. Oh, don't want that. I do not want sculptress on this. New. Okay. So let's do that. Then B, create an insert mesh. Go new. Now let's pop back over to this bad boy, and I want these to be kind of small. Let's see. 2, 3. Hey, Reggie's here. Hey, Reggie. Popping over in the chat for a second. All right. Okay. So where do I want to go from here? I might undo all of that. Let's just take a look here at how many edges I'm going to end up with if I subdivide this once. So 32. Okay, I'll work with that. Let's delete lower on that. So we're going to have, just do all of that. Boom, boom. Okay. I know that I want these holes right here to end up in 24 edges. There's 32. So how many do I need to delete for that? Well, we got 1, 2. Leaves this with 28. Nice. Nice. So I'm just going to go through here and delete each of these. Okay, that could be problematic. I didn't follow the exact same line down through this, so what I need to do here is redo these two holes. So let's just do close convex on there, close convex on there, boop, boop. Actually, do this. Okay, let's extrude an edge. What? Okay, there we go. It doesn't like it when you try to do that from a more orthographic sort of view. 1, 2, 3 right there. Fill this hole back in very carefully so that we get did I accidentally welded across this thing. Alright, try this one more time. it's trying to reach across because it's seeing, if I turn on double, it's seeing the edge on the other side, so it's trying to automatically connect to that, which is not what I want. That will cause so many problems. Sometimes when ZBrush behaves weirdly like that, if you turn on double-sided so you can see through your mesh, you'll find what's causing the problem. See, look right there, it tried to snap across. Boy, that's something that sure would be nice if they'd fix that. That is problematic sometimes. See, something looks weird right there too. I can see that line sticking off of that, so I can tell that that's connecting somewhere it shouldn't be. You gotta watch about that. Easy to miss something like that, and then like 5 minutes later, find out that you've done a bunch of work that just got screwed up by something, some kind of an error like that. Very frustrating when that happens. I'll look at these two lines, and that lets me know right where I want. Right where I want to pull my my holes from. Okay. So, and I did subdivide this once, so gotta be careful here. There we go. Oop. Now let's see where we end up there. It's probably not going to be exactly right. Oh no, I've been working without symmetry on all this time. How lame. Mirror and weld. There we go. Yay. So I want to check that. Okay, that's 32. Okay, cool. So we did do that right. Good. 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 And up in. All right. Just add an edge loop in here. Edge loop in here. There we go. See what we're doing on time. Okay. So now, in theory, I should be able to close up all these holes like this and have that insert mesh brush weld past these holes. So let's try that and see what we get. I should be able to just pull that guy out of there like that. Oh, that didn't work quite right. Very strange. Yeah, sometimes that does some weird stuff. So I think I can see why though. So we need to come in here and make separate poly groups of all these so it doesn't get confused. And it would be nice if this thing would pay attention to me. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. 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 Okay, now let's try this again. Oop. Nice. And there it goes. See that connection? That's what I want. Now I should be able to do that on each of these. Really? Come on, dude. Don't do me like that. Sometimes this acts really funny. Yeah, see, every time I pull those away from there, you're supposed to be able to move them around afterwards, but I notice that a lot of times you go moving. There we go. When you go to move those insert meshes after you've put them in, it can get weird. This is so nice because as I'm doing this, I mean, I'm concepting it, but I'm also getting a really, really usable mesh with all these nice poly groups and everything, and a good tight poly count. So this has really been like a technique I've used for years for high-speed, high-speed creature sculpting type situations. Okay. Really like where that's landing. All right. Now let's come back to this thing's head for a minute. Now we have that body there. I'm going to go in and just chop off this back poly group right here. Hidden that. That. Okay. So I don't think we're going to have time this morning to get a full topology made on this. We might get close. I might get this made but not welded into the head or into the body. So I just duplicated this mesh. I'm going to take a look at my poly groups here because those can be really handy for guiding how a topology gets made. So let's go to Z-remesher. And I'm going to set my target poly count to about 12,000. And let's see what it does with that. Okay. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Wow, that's lucky. That's lucky. Look at that topology. Holy crap. I mean, it needs a little finessing. There's some little spots here and there, but damn. That, wow. That was meant to be right there. Meant to be. Nice, nice, nice. You don't get a happy moment like that often with automated tools. You just don't. Vast majority of the time, everything has to be tweaked and tweaked and tweaked and tweaked. There's all kinds of manual work. But that was nice. Very nice. Yeah, that's oh, I'm so stoked with that. So that means we can come in here and which way do I want to go? Oh my god, I have so many options now because that topology is clean. That is nice, nice, nice. Let's do this. Okay. So I'm making these poly groups right here like this. So now I've got extrude. Let's see, actually, do I want to do extrude? No, I want to do an inset, poly group all, inset each poly. There we go. Boy, that was just really cool. So now that I have those, I can extrude poly group all. Do a little tight extrusion there. 3, 4. Oh, I like that. I like that. Okay. Wow. Boy, that worked out well. Seriously worked out way better than I expected. So just for the sake of this stream, I'm going to, well, actually, let's go ahead and pop these together just in the same subtool. There's all kinds of welding and things that'll need to happen to actually merge those together. But that's super cool. I wonder, just out of curiosity. Let's see what we have here. 288. 100. Okay. Well, then that means 132 right there. Mm-hmm. 76. What do we say this was right here? 288. There's 200. 264. 276. 284. 288. Cool. Wow. Wow. This is coming together nice. So now I can bridge 2 holes, align clicked edges, and over here. Now, come back to me now. Back Me now. You know you want this. Come on, baby. Yeah. There we go. Tell me that's not sexy. Boom. Together. Single mesh. Airtight. Watertight. Clean topo. All that in under an hour. Boy, that pleases me. That pleases me so much. So much. Overboard says, not sure just what happened because I don't know what any of this means. So what I'm doing there is building a topology. So like if we look at this, you see how this mesh is kind of garbledy gook of triangles. That's garbage. It's fine for sculpting, but if you wanted to rig it to pose it and do anything besides just having a sculpt of it, then this is trash. But we use it for spitting out shapes and getting the shape sculpted, right? So then this guy right here, though, that topology is super clean. Lower resolution. We can subdivide it, which is multiplying it, and it comes out really smooth. Um, we can add all the details and stuff after that. And because it has this nice low res topology, it's very easy to weight the vertices of that topology to joints in different software so that you can manipulate it and animate it, pose it, all that stuff easier. Working out a complex shape like that flowing into a body usually is a hassle, because you've got however many vertices and edges coming along that back part there that need to join seamlessly and smoothly into something else. So there comes a point where that's why I kept saying, okay, 288. I know I have 288 edges here. So I know the number that I have here, and it needs to match the number here, where I was going to join those together. So that's why I keep adding those edge loops and doing those things to get those same numbers. Then I can run that bridge command that's gonna make that stuff work, and that's what we end up with. And the speed and like the way that worked out here is definitely not the way it normally works out. That is not normal. So it's usually not that smooth or easy, and that just whenever I'm working on something and it can happen that it falls that smooth and easy, man, that is a great moment. So yeah, I'm digging that. So now to finish this out, I can just see. Let's subdivide it. I want to make sure I have all my creasing turned off. Oh no. Subdivide. Do smoothing. And now it gets to be a whole lot of fun. Because here now we can just focus on sculpting in a surface shape and getting this thing looking neat. Yeah, this is fun now. A lot of fun. All right. Wow. I'm super stoked. That was great. Get some noisy details on there. I'm going to break that up a little bit. Oh, and we can do a turntable of that. 1 hour, man. 1 hour on the dot. I feel good about it. I feel really good about that. That was very satisfying. Oh. That's funny. That's a bad turntable. Let's try that again. That's even worse. Oh no. I think it's just because the thing is like was built kind of off center. I don't like that. I like getting a good clean turntable out of it. That's so awful. Mm-mm-mm. Just zoom out here and try that. There we go. Oh. Mm-mm-mm. Good times. Good times. I like that. I like that critter. That is definitely going to get rigged up, and this guy will be made available for DAS Studio users. He will find his way into printed products, all kinds of stuff. That's man, that was good. That was fun. Let's just save this guy. All right. I want to pop back over the chat for a minute. And so that is going to wrap it up for today. Thanks for joining me. That was a lot of fun working on the Carrioner next in my D&D inspired series. So fortunately, while it was raining madly out there, it didn't kick off the power or anything. So we made it through. Made it through. I'm gonna go hit my porch and hang out outside and watch the rain for a little bit. Uh, Everybody, thanks for hanging out. Love having y'all with me in the mornings. It's a good time. Nice to chit chat with some folks a little bit and do the whole morning sculpt and get my warm ups and stuff in while you guys are hanging out. So tomorrow there will not be a stream for I have to take a personal day for a funeral. So I have an uncle who passed away, and there's family stuff that has to take place with that. So I will be out, but we will be back Monday morning at 9:05 yet again. Just keeping on, keeping on. We're moving through it. We're into the seas now, into the seas in the monster manual. So That's cool, man. That's very cool. How many of these have we got so far? Let's see. Let's just take a look at my folders. Yeah, we got 14 of these so far. So we're 14 in, on our way to probably about 300 creatures. We're going to knock out quite a few of these things. So, thanks as always for hanging out and watching. Remember, like, share, subscribe, ring the little bell. Go to 6s1.com for the newsletter and news and updates, special offers, all that groovy stuff. We got so much going on. It's crazy. Till Monday. Thanks, guys. I'm out.